Welcome to MG's Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is what first impression do you make? How do you come off to other people when they first meet you, to strangers, to friends of a friend, to anyone who just met you for the first time? How do you come off to them, and just how do they see you? So today we have 3 piles. We have pile 1, bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. We have pile 2, the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. And we have pile 3, work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. So in order to pick a pile, just tune into the energy of the cards and find out which one strikes you the most. This could be based on appearance of these cards, it could be based on the energy or just how the card makes you feel. And it's fine if you are drawn to more than one pile. You might be even drawn to all 3, and you can watch all of them if you want. But just in the general idea, just try to tune into the energies of each piles and just see how you feel about it and how it strikes out to you. And just go to the timestamp below in the description box for your reading. Hello part 1, welcome. I will do a shuffle on screen for this, and I'm using the red or white tarot deck, and I'll just shuffle. What first impression does pile 1 make? So we have 9 of Wands in reverse, and we have 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And we have bring love into the situation. So first off, what am I feeling is that you may come off as someone who doesn't maybe not try so hard. So first impression is that maybe people see you as someone who doesn't have to try so hard in life. Like you could either be someone who appear to be quite lazy. You might have a lazy look to you. It could be your energy, your aura, but it may just be just the way you hold yourself or the way you speak. Maybe it just has a sort of laziness to it, but it is not generally it's not a bad thing. Even if people does get this sort of first impressions, it's fine. But yeah, someone might just see you and you may just maybe when you go out, you may be this type of person who likes to wear sweats, just tracksuit pants, or just something really comfortable. I don't see that you might not be the type to dress up often, or at least dress up in the way that people would consider dress up. For example, in general, there's a general view of how dress up looks like, but literally anyone who just wears different clothes to go outside has already sort of dressed up. But I can see here that it could be that you do in your own way, you feel like you're dressed up, but people find that you may look a little bit just not look like you put in that effort. It seems that you may appear quite effortless in terms of everyday situations or just how you speak. It could be anything, but what I'm getting, especially from 8 of Pentacles in reverse, is just that you may come off as someone who doesn't have to put in that much effort, or just doesn't want to put in that much effort. And it seems that you're quite peaceful too, that you come off as someone's quite peaceful, who doesn't really have star drama or are in a drama. It's likely that you know what's going on, not with everybody, you don't know what's going on with everyone, but let's say if you're in a school setting or workplace setting, you may hear things that are happening, like drama that is happening here and there, but it's not it's not something that, like, you don't know everyone's situation, but you know some, but you're not involved in it. So I feel like people can see that going on in you. And with bring love into the situation, new moon Aquarius, new moon represents, you know, a new beginning, right? And it's the moon that happens before the first quarter or anything like that. And from the looks of it, I definitely think that the cards are showing that maybe you appear to some people, first impression, to be sort of not cold, but more so just uninterested. Like, I don't think you appear to be that interested in getting to know new people. You might be someone who's really comfortable in their comfort zone, and for that reason alone, people don't think of you as someone who wants to get to know them, for like new people at least, when actually you could generally be quite interested in people. You could have an interest in socializing, but because of how you come off to people, they don't think you really want to talk to them. And I think in turn this could make you wonder why people doesn't talk to you. Like, why are they not speaking to me? Like, why don't they want to make friends with me, even though I want to make friends with them? And I think it's because part of it is because since you do seem like you're not that interested, you might be quite shy, and you might not want to make the effort to, you know, go up to people and be friends with them. But that's like, for them, I guess, they don't want to break the ice. They rather you do it, because at least they know that you're interested in getting to know them. So that's one thing. Let's see. I will now use Mints and Mermaids, Oracle of the Water deck. I really like this deck too. They're really nice. But so, first impressions. One. Okay, so we have 9 green mermaid triplets, and we have shipwreck siren number 40. I will read from the book. I will read the poem, or the section, I suppose. Away from the pack, apart from the crowd, strong and sound and honor bound, independent and proud, just don't forget your sisters, waiting in the wings, the strength they bear, support and care. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere. Separation strains, but cannot break such strings. Wow, what a powerful message. And let's go to let's go to number 40 and see. Okay. Shipwreck siren, sing to me, siren, of those lustfully depraved, of gluttony, excitement, and vanity displayed. Sing to me, siren, of excess and greed, of slothful indulgence and heady need. Sing to me, siren, of debauchery and fame, of riches and shiny things. I'll stand fast yet again. So I'll just start with the piles. Green mermaid triplets, as they speak about, you know, being away from the pack, the crowd, but yet, you know, you're seen as someone who's not so much of a loner. No one would really think of you as a loner, but if you've ever, you know, been surrounded by the word loner, it's likely to stem from you or from your past experiences. But I don't think currently, I don't believe that people look at you and be like, this person's a loner. Definitely not. But I do think that people think that you're quite independent, you're quite standalone, but they don't see it as a negative way, because although loner is one of those words that doesn't seem to have that much of a negative connotation, it does in effect. Like, when you think of the word loner, you think of someone who's alone, right? But not in a good kind of alone. So in that sense, that's kind of what this card is saying, that you're not, if you are someone who's likes to be by themselves, people don't see you as a loner. They see you as someone who's independent, who's busy with their own things, who has stuff going on for them, or just things they're doing that doesn't have to involve other people. And I sense that there are some people who admires this quality within you and thinks, wow, this person doesn't need, they don't need friends. Not that they don't need friends, like they don't need instant company or company 24/7. They can be alone, be okay alone. And I think that's one of the biggest and best qualities that people see in terms of, first impressions, as far as it goes, is that you're someone who doesn't seem like they need people constantly. And it may seem to you, you may wish that people actually spend more time with you. I sense a feeling of, it says here that separation strains but cannot break such strings. Maybe currently you're going through a time with your friends where you feel like you're not really talking to them, and just a message that I'm getting is that don't worry, because even through separation, or maybe you're physically too far, or you guys are just busy with your own lives, that you're not talking to your friends or your friends aren't talking to you, it may feel like you two are being distanced, like you and your friends are distancing. But don't worry, even though it does strain the relationship, it does not break your relationship. It doesn't make your relationship any worse. It's just, you guys are just having time away and away from each other, and that's fine. Sometimes a lot of things are learned spent apart. There are a lot of things you learn, life lessons that people learn solo. People learn when they're alone. So there's likely lessons for you to learn as you separate from your friend for a while. But just because of that, don't forget that regardless of whether you're talking to your friends or not, if you ever need help, reach out for help. There's another message I'm getting, because when it comes to separation or feeling distance, it seems like people tend to feel that they can't really communicate to the people they're distant from because they drifted apart or they just haven't talked. But at the end of the day, they're still your friends. They're still people you cherish. Therefore, it's good if you know that regardless of whether you're talking to them all the time or not at all, they will still be here for you. And I think if you ever need help or need advice, need a second opinion, and you know that it's not something you can do on your own, definitely reach out. And it doesn't have to be in a way that is like, oh my god, I need help, please help me sort of way. You can just talk to them. Just talk to them, start a conversation, start at how are you, hi, hello, and sort of ease into it. Maybe it'll give you guys that time just to comfort, just to gain a sense of comfortability and feel a sense of this me and this friend, we are going smoothly. Just because we haven't talked for a while, we haven't talked in so long, just getting that foundation of like, yep, okay, I'm gonna ask them now, ask them for the help, ask them for advice or such. But yes, anyways, besides from that message, you appear as independent, you appear as someone who doesn't need people, or doesn't, at least you have no need for other people. But it seems like, but what I'm getting from spirit is that even though you do, and you probably enjoy alone time to an extent, you might be an introvert, but I sense that you enjoy spending time with people, like you want to spend time with people, and there are lots of things you want to do with other people that you just haven't. And I think maybe I'm getting that you may be someone who wants to be asked to go out rather than asking people to go out, because I think you lack motivation to go out on your own, or you may lack motivation to make plans. But if someone else makes plans with you, you'll have a sudden motivation. And I think that part of you that you feel like, oh yeah, I do want to hang with people, but when I make plans I don't feel motivated, I think it's coming from you. Definitely, it's something, it's not an issue or trauma, I don't believe, but I definitely think that that is something that you'll learn to grow out of. So right now it may seem like I just lack this motivation to make plans, even though I want to see my friends, I want to make an effort, and yet at the same time I don't want to make an effort to travel to see them or such. Just realize that it's like, it's probably a time for you to relax, and for all the right reasons. Motivation will come in time. Don't worry, motivation will come, or someone will come ask to hang out. It's not like you have to force yourself to bring energy and to ask people out, because just, let's say you do need help or you want to talk, and just you talking to someone, that's already an effort. Like, you don't have to physically make an effort. And I think that's what sometimes some people's not really seeing, is that they think, oh, I have to physically make an effort, I have to go outside and see them in order to show that like I care about them, or etc, something like that. But, or like, just like, you know, just, or to feel like you have friends, but in truth you don't. Because, like, yes, it is good to see them once in a while, but you don't need consistent seeing, physical effort to establish your foundation for a friendship. Like, some friendships works just fine without having to see each other all the time. Like, there are cases where you just see them like 3 times a year, or maybe like less, but your friendship, when you see them, you're just as close. And that's another type of friendship that I suppose it's not hard to find, but it is rare at the same time. So what I'm trying to say from this is just that every friendship works differently. Your friendship may be like this, someone else's friendship may be differently, but just know that you don't have to force yourself to do anything. But don't take this, what I'm trying to say, all of this, as a sign to not make an effort at all. Try to make an effort, but don't force it. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a limit to it. So let's say you want to make an effort, you want to see your friends, but you're tired. See what you're tired from. Are you tired or you're lazy? Because I think you may tend to categorize it as one thing, like label it as one thing, as in like, okay, I don't want to go out. No, try to find whether you're feeling lazy or you're just tired. Because if you're tired, definitely cancel and rest. Don't make the effort. But if you find that you're just lazy, but you're labeling it as like okay, I'm not ready to go, I'm not in the mood, then obviously it's just you that's not making enough effort in it. And yeah, but with Shipwreck Siren, I think first impressions is that you may be someone who might, I'm getting the word that you might be someone who buys a lot of things. Like you may be a hoarder. Okay, a hoarder may be a little extreme, but just someone who likes to keep things. You may like to treasure things, anything that's sentimental to you, you'll probably keep it, and which is fine. But I mean, no one's really gonna get this for first impressions, but they might see, just for example, you're meeting someone for the first time, and let's say you see something or someone give you something, people might notice that you keep it, and I guess it's not a bad impression by any chance, but it's like it's just I think it's one of the things people may notice, that you might be someone who keeps things and you like to, or like you may be someone who wear things or bring things with you that are sentimental to you. So like for example, let's say a friend give you a watch, and like it could be like not even those like wrist watch, but like those like not like the watch that people in back in the days used to use, like the one where they're like it's a circle and they just click it and it's like you put it in your pocket, like those type of watch, like the fancy nice looking ones, those ones. Like maybe your friend are into vintage stuff and they decide to give you this and you feel sentimental because it was like the day that you guys like your anniversary of becoming friends, let's say, and now it's a sentimental item to you, therefore you keep it, and let's say you bring it when you see your friend the next time, and then your friend pointed out, or your friends just be like, oh my god, is that the watch that I gave you that day? Like new people who first meet you, like let's say a friend of a friend was there too, they'll notice that you keep it, or like you're someone who's probably sentimental, could be quite nostalgic, and yeah. But at the same time, even though you may appear to be someone who keeps things, I also have a feeling that you may be someone who's against indulge. So when I say indulge, I mean like, for example, if you see someone wearing like full-on brand names head to toe, you might feel like you might not necessarily be against it, but you might be like, wow, this person is wasting their money. Or you might have a certain rigid idea. It doesn't have to be, brand names, it could be anything. But I think people first impression is that they view you as someone who is quite rigid in their thoughts. You might have certain ideas that you're really strong about, or you just have certain strong opinions that people can't really shake you of it, and it seems like you have a good sense of materialism. So you might be someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of money. You may be someone who support op shops, like secondhand items. You may be someone who like vintage clothing. You may be someone who wants to make handmade stuff, like you want to sew your own clothes. You may be someone who just doesn't want to, not necessarily have to be environmental friendly, but you're just someone who are quite, I think you have a big idea and a strong opinion about materialism. So it's not necessarily about environmental factors, it could be, but I think it's more so like about how people are living their life, how people are spending their money, how people are keeping things. Although I find that maybe you, at times, let's say you express this opinion, let's say you're someone who's into the idea of like, okay, let's not spend too much money, or like everyone's so materialistic, everything is buying stuff just to satisfy themselves, that type of idea, right? And you might say it, and the person who first met you and they hear you say that, they might think that it's ironic considering you keep things, and but it's a very different, because they don't know, like they might not know that it's sentimental to you, but to them it's like, well, you do keep a lot of things, and yet you're here saying things like, oh, people will just keep things to satisfy themselves, or like people is so materialistic. People just can't be satisfied with like spiritually or emotionally, or just, you know, just live life contently. People always want to buy things, they always want to use money, spend money, but then people who first meet you might be like, oh wow, this person really says this as they spend money, or as they buy clothes, they just bought clothes, or like just as this person seems to be hoarding so much stuff, and yet this person is preaching about being just being someone who like is against the idea. So I think that's just an interesting part about, I guess, how the first impression you make. And yeah, and I will see the bottom of the deck energy, the energy bottom of the deck for part 1, and that is 5 of Cups, which is under 10 of Cups in reverse. Wow. So okay, so first impression is that you may be someone who you might get, I've heard the word nostalgic. You might be someone who feel a lot of nostalgia. You might be someone who reminisce a lot. And I think people really notice that. Or you may look like someone who's nostalgic. Or you may look like someone who's from back in the older days. So like that doesn't have to be super old. It could just be like maybe you wear 2000s sort of trends. Maybe you have that hairstyle going, or maybe it could just be the way you talk, the way you act. It has a very nostalgic feeling to you. Or you may be someone who speaks sentimental or speak nostalgically. I don't know how that would come across, but they just have a feeling of like, you may be someone who comes across as not so much as sad, like you're not sad, but you're someone who's very reminiscent. Like I just have a feeling that you appear as someone who thinks a lot, but not just about anything. Like I don't think you come across as someone who thinks about the future or the present a lot. I think you come up as someone who misses the past, misses the good old days, or thinks about the good old days, often thinks about, you know, that 20s was the time of my life, etc., etc., even though it's been like 2 years. Like people get that impression of you. And but overall, I think people generally have an okay impression of you. Like I don't think it's a bad impression they're getting. And you know, but also Spirit is also advising that you do bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. I think it's an advice for specific people who doesn't like the first impression they're giving off, and want to change it, is to bring love. So show interest in the people you meet. If you do want to become friends with them, show interest in them. You know, approach them, talk to them. You don't have to be super confident or act out of your character. Just be you. Just ask questions, be curious, but bring love into the situation. Talk, you know, do things with love. So let's say you want to speak about your idea, just because people may think, oh, this person's a hoarder or something like that, don't be discouraged, and don't stop speaking about these ideas. You can totally speak about it, because it's all just first impression. People can think anything first impression, but eventually they'll understand your mindset or frame of work once they know you better. So don't worry too much about that stuff, but just try to bring love. You know, try not to act so cold, so distant, if you do want to change your first impression. And also, if you want to feel closer with your friends, let's say you do feel distant, try to speak to them. And it doesn't have to be physical. Like I said, if you're too tired to speak to them physically, try to call them or text them. And it doesn't have to be a long conversation. It could just be short, but do them sometimes. And you may feel that people actually, your friends generally do want to talk to you. They just haven't got the chance to. It's not just you, it's also them too. But yeah, that is all I'm getting for this pile. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you. Hi pile 2, welcome to your reading. So you've picked the end of a tough cycle approaches full moon in Capricorn, and I will bring out the other cards for you. So I'm just gonna shuffle, and then I'll see what cards come out. Okay, so first impressions. I think you come off as someone who's kind, who's very lovely. You have 3 of Swords in reverse, you have 9 of Swords in reverse, and you also have 6 of Cups. I think you come off as someone who's very kind, but someone who's been through a tough time. You may have recently went through a heartbreak, but it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be totally platonic. You might have recently stopped being friends with someone, or something happened and you stopped talking. I definitely feel that you are feeling sad, and people see you as, first impression is that you're someone who's not very happy. Like, you might not be vibrant or full of energy. Like, you're lacking passion and you're lacking energy with the Knight of Swords in reverse. But you're someone who is kind, you're someone who is loving, and you're someone who comes off as someone who still, like, would be friends, like, would still be a good friend to others regardless of how they're feeling themselves. And I'm getting that first impression is just, yeah, it seems like you just recently broke things off with either your significant other, your partner, or your friend, or your family. You could, anything, but just a close connection. It appears that you feel like disconnected or just sad, and people can feel this energy, and I think people want you to get better too. Like, just people might just see, like, first impression, they might just see you and feel this and wish you happiness, really. And I'm also getting spirits are saying that your friends or your family, one of your loved ones or all your loved ones are hoping that you'll get better soon. They might not be saying it because they think they might hurt you more by bringing it up, but inside I believe they want happiness for you. So I will use this deck, and then we'll see what cards. Oh, lovely. So we have number 8, Sea Beasties, and then we have 38, Standard. Sorry if it's a little blurry, but Stranded, not Standard. Okay, I will read from the book for this. I'll read just the poem. I think that's what. So for this one, Sea Beasties. Here in the murky depths we dwell, trapped in darkness like a jail, obscure by she who holds the key, yet chooses not to lift the veil. Our clandestine existence can, our shadows no longer condone. Buried deep we wade, we sleep, unknowable or just unknown. Wow, and then we'll go Stranded. For the solitary seafarer, the time has come to weep, longing empty yearnings for her dreams, dreamt dark and deep. Forlornly lamenting, she aches to close the gap she keeps, remembering a loved one as she's drifting off to sleep, slipping to nothing, an oaken guard embrace, listlessly awaiting the sun's illustrious face. Alone on an island, swiftly shrinking space, she is stranded, alone, afraid, and in disgrace. That's quite a message. I will start with CBCs. No, actually, I'll start with Stranded. It goes to talk about, it really goes to talk about what I was just saying. I definitely think you have recently gotten off a relationship with someone, and or in general, or if not, I believe you're probably feeling disconnected with yourself. Maybe you've always thought you had quite a strong sense of identity, or at least in your passions, and then suddenly, or like it may be, yeah, the things you like, the things you want to do, and suddenly something shifted and you realize that's not what I want to do anymore. That's not what I like. I like something else. I don't really enjoy this anymore. Or it could be relationships. You may just feel alone, and you may feel like where you are or the place you're at the moment, you feel stuck, and you feel like there's no one you can really turn to, and which is sad because others are wishing you happiness and others don't want to bring it up in case they make you feel sad, and yet you're just in this place of despair, like you're feeling alone, and you're not, don't worry, there are people around you who wants to pay you back the kindness you have given them. And it is just know that the journey you're going through, whatever you're going through here, are just a phase. It will go, and when it goes, you'll realize that it was all for the better. The person, the relationship you have lost, or etc., something like that, it's definitely all for the better. And with Sea Beasties, I think you're trapped in your own thoughts. I think you're trapped in your own thoughts, and the spirits really ask you to unwrap yourself from there, to take out the trap that you put in for you, because no one is making you feel trapped, and yet you feel trapped, and it's all in the head. But anyways, as far as first impression goes, I believe they see you someone who's going through a lonely phase. They may feel that you feel sort of alone. You feel like you're just spending time a lot by yourself. Like maybe you're someone who normally would be social, like you would be interacting a lot, but just recently you've gone through something and you're just not ready to venture out into the world again, and people definitely notice it. And first impression wise, they just think, oh, like they might have heard of you, from your friends maybe, or like just people, and maybe you're usually someone who's popular, maybe, or someone who talks to a lot of people, even if you don't feel close with them. But when they meet you currently, they're like, oh, well, they don't seem to be that, from what I've heard. Like, so is it false what I've heard? But no, it's just you're going through a tough time, you're going through a rough time, and it's no one can really always just be the same. So people definitely understand that. Like at first they may be confused, but they'll realize that you're just going through one of those phases where you're just not ready to speak, or you're just not ready to make friends or new connections with new people, and that's totally fine, that's fair. And people are not expecting you to be happy 24/7. But they do want you to be happy, because they've seen how you're like when you're happy, and they can see how much this whatever happens to you is affecting you. And with CBCs, people just feel like you're in this dark place that you're not getting out of. And maybe this loved one that you recently had, like this loved one who you recently cut off connections with, it could be that it was sort of toxic, and you just, and I feel like maybe people have told you this, or you sort of had a feeling but you're just not ready to break out of it. And then when you break out of it, you're just missing them. And I guess it's hard. Toxic relationship is hard. Some people find it easy to let go, others lingers. And every toxic relationship are different, but I feel like this, from what I'm feeling, it could be really toxic, or it could be like just mildly, like just like emotionally toxic. And but I believe that you might have thought, oh, this person is so good to me, but yet at the same time you feel drained, or you could feel like at the same time I feel like they're good to me, but everyone's saying differently. Why? And worst come to worst, and then things just happen, you guys just drifted, and I feel like it has taken a toll on you, because you're just sort of like, I feel like this person was someone you depend on. It was someone who could put you could be putting this person on a pedestal, honestly. And now that they're gone, or you just haven't talked to them, you sort of feel alone, and you feel like you can't get out of this like yearning for them to come back. And people can see this yearning in you. They can see this feeling of lack. Like they can sense that you're not feeling content with your life, that's all. And it's not a bad thing, definitely not, but people are just sensing it. And it just has to do with your current situation. It's not really about you. But yeah, let's see if there's other cards that comes out. Let's see. So we have Two of Cups. Oh wow, that's really wonderful. So Two of Cups, this just kind of goes to show that people see you as someone who's harmonious, who can make friends easily, who are a good person to. I think a lot of people want to have you in their life as, a closer friend, a closer, worker, I don't know, colleague, or could just be like someone they just want to get to know. And because they can see all the good qualities in them. And I think to some people, they're seeing that you feel stuck. They could sense that you might feel a sense of people could see that you're probably feeling stuck, like you're not transforming, you're not growing, you don't seem to be growing, or at least you're not growing the way they think you'll be growing. And people can see this sadness sort of lingers around, and that you're wanting something. They can see that you want something, and they could perhaps even sense that you're trying to manifest. If you're someone who's into manifesting, people are seeing it, and they're sensing it within you, and they just, I think a part of them wants to be someone who comes into your life, and like, especially if people who don't know you, I think they want to come into your life and build a connection, because they can see that you have good qualities and great qualities that they would want in someone in their life. And I think you're just hung up on this one connection, or you're hung up with yourself, that you're not seeing all the other people who are lining up, waiting to be your friend, or waiting to be a part of your life, to be someone who matters to you. Not just that person you talk to, you say hi, you helped, and then you're gone. They want to be someone that you think about and want to hang out and want to see, or etc., stuff like that. But in general, people just see you as kind and sad and going through a tough time. But don't worry, Spirit is saying the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon Capricorn. Full moon is a great phase of the moon, because it shows to completion. And that's the thing, it may seem like a tough cycle, but it will go. everything will pass. The happy times, the sad times, the okay times, it all will pass, and you will soon find yourself in a better place. So don't stress that you're feeling yearning for this person or whatsoever, or like this disconnect with yourself, because it will pass and you will find your way out, and you will find new people, you will meet new people. It's all part of life and it's part of growing. So that is all I have for you. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good day and that you find that happiness within you. I really hope you do, because you seem like such a lovely person, and I'm sure that whoever it is or whatever disconnect you're feeling, it will soon pass this. So thank you for watching again, and bye. Okay, last but not least, we have the third pile. So work through your fears, New Moon Scorpio. For those who chose this pile, I will be shuffling the cards on screen, and then we'll start the reading. So we have the Magician in reverse, we have King of Wands upright, Five of Pentacles upright, and Judgment in reverse. So wow, a mixture of energy. Maybe a lot of people are feeling drawn to this pile, and I can sense that the first impression you make are a lot of things, and I think to different people you come off differently, like some or at least, you know, depending on the person watching this, like different people might be getting different energies, a mixture here, but essentially the general first impression you make is that you're someone who's appear to be someone who can go through tough time or has gone through tough times, and you appear to be someone who's quite, you know, standing strong in their own feet, regardless of all the things you've been through or all the things you are currently going through. Actually, I have a feeling that you're going through something. Actually, you're in the process of going through something. First impression is that people don't see you as someone who have gone through tough time, but you are currently going through tough time, and people are seeing that life may feel a little bit like hard for you right now, because the Magician in reverse, we have the Judgment in reverse, but at the same time you're also standing strong on your feet. So it is sort of contradicting, but not really. It complements quite well, because we have someone who is strong and passionate and probably fiery in nature. Like, you might be someone who might lean towards more being aggressive than passive, but you're at the same time, you're in this sort of energy or in this sort of zone because you are going through times, like maybe you come off as being irritated quite easily, or just someone who's just like quite headstrong or quite hot-headed. And I think the reason for that is that you're going through stuff in your life, and new people might just come into your life, and like, you're just not in the mood to give them a good first impression. You're just ready to just get through this. Really, you want to get through this, so you're not in the mood to be like all nice and friendly. That doesn't mean you are not, but it just basically just means that you're just not in the space to be like as nice as you normally would be. So that's the energy, and we'll see. I'll shuffle some more cards. So we have number 19, Jellyfish Portal. And I'll read it from the book and see. So 19. Jellyfish Portal. Let life takes us unassuming, yielding to the ebb and flow. No hurries, no worries, with no need to scurry. The current will lead us wherever we go. Wow, that is such a lovely message though, because basically jellyfish portal is saying that, you know, life is unexpected, life is full of surprises, and there's no need to be hurried, there's no need to worry, there's no need to rush. Everything is going at the right time, at the right pace, and wherever you go, you're at the right moment. So right now, times may seem tough, you may seem like you're going through it worse than other people are going through, but spirits are saying that it's all the right timing, it's all the right place. You're here in the present moment. This is where you're meant to be. So don't stress that you're the only one in the dumps, because you're not the only one in the world who's facing hardships. Everyone is in their own way, and yours may seem slightly worse depending on your judgment or other people's judgment, but it will go, it will pass, it all will pass. And I can see that with the jellyfish portal too, first impressions is that they see you as someone who's glowing in this darkness. So it could be that you you appear to be someone who's going through a tough time currently, but at the same time you're glowing above it. Like, maybe people may even get the impression that because you're going through tough times, you are shining even brighter than you've ever been. Maybe you're showing this fiery, passionate, or at least hot-headed energy that actually makes you stand out more, and it makes people notice you more. And I guess people do see that it's thanks to the hardship you're currently facing, but you know, people are noticing you, and I guess that's not such a bad thing, because it doesn't seem like they're seeing it in a bad way either. But let's see if there's let's see if it has something else. I think I'll do 2 more. Oh wow, so we have sea beasties, and we have part 2 actually got sea beasties too, and then we have number 33, mermaid, mother, and child. So we'll read the book. So we'll do number 8. Here in the murky depths we dwell, trapped in darkness like a jail, obscured by the she who holds the key, yet chooses not to lift the veil. Our clandestine existence can, our shadows no longer condone. Buried deep we wait, we sleep, unknowable or just unknown. And then we have number 33, mermaid, mother, and child. Please tell me, mother, what shall I become? Who should I love and lose before my life is done? Help me understand, mother, how to lead my life. I need to know before I go, become a wary wife. So with the books, it's saying, with Sea Beasties, it's saying that right now it may feel like it's just you who's facing these problems alone. Like, it's just like you against the world against you. But it's saying that are you just choosing not to see the fact that you're not the only one going through this? Because does it make you feel like spirits are telling me to ask you if the only reason why you're feeling like you're having it worse than other is because you don't want to face the fact that you're not like because you don't want to face the fact that others could have worse than you. Like, are you just trying to make yourself feel better by thinking that you have the worst of the worst? Because if so, spirits really advise you to don't think so. Like, don't think like that, because there's no joy really. Like, there's no real happiness or authenticity in happiness in feeling like you have worse, because yes, there are other people in the world who have it worse, but in making yourself feel like you have the worst of the worst, it's not actually elevating you. It may make you feel better in the moment, but to others you may just come off ignorant. Like, you may just come off quite ignorant that the fact that there are people who are facing worse, and yet you're making it such like, it's not that your problems are invalid, it's just as valid as any other problems in the world, don't worry. But the fact that you're blowing it out, like you're making this problem seems like it's the worst of the worst, is can make you come off as ignorant to others' problems, because everyone goes through problems, whether it's worse than you or better than yours, whatever it is, or on the same level. Everyone has different tolerance level, and for that reason alone, like, people can find that you're quite insensitive to the fact that others have had worse or are facing through worse, and yet you're here, I guess, reacting to your problems as if the world has come to an end. So that's one thing. And with mermaid mother and child, I sense that people are seeing as if like the problems you're facing, all you need is a mother. Like, what you need is a mother, because I suppose people are seeing that the way you're reacting to things are sort of like hot-headed and like impulsive. So people are sort of like, you know what this person needs is just someone to take care of them, like someone to soothe them and make them feel better and just relax them. And I sort of feel like finding a mother figure, it may seem like so childish, like, why do I have to go to my family or my parents or whatever for my problems? Like, I should be an adult and handle this myself. But no, not every problem can be solved on your own. And that's one of the things, like, you need to realize that if this problem is going through a lot, like if you have a lot of problems and they seem to be going on for a long time and you feel like they're not stopping, maybe that has something to do with something, because problems can't always be solved by just you, but it can't always just be solved by others. So you have to see, like, if this problem has been prolonged and it's only just you trying to solve it, maybe it's time to realize that other people may be needed, and vice versa. But just in general, I think mermaid mother and child is asking you to find other people to consult. So you should talk to people, and not in an angry, not in a reactive, defensive way, as in like, my problems, like, you better not judge me for my problems, like, not those, but in a way that's like, I genuinely want to talk, I genuinely want advice, I genuinely want to get over it. Because I think part of being defensive is that, or part of being super reactive is that you're holding on to it. You're actually the one holding on to your problems, and you may realize that the problems you're facing are a product of the fact that you're holding on to it, and you may not even realize. And you just need to find that figure, that parental figure, who can help you go through it. And that's definitely one of the things. And I feel like this is just a phase, like, this is not forever. But aside from all of those things, like all of those things you're going through, I find that people do enjoy your company when you're a lot calmer. And also with work through your fears, new moon Scorpio, new moon, fresh beginnings, work through your fears. It's just a start, it's just a start to your healing. This message, all of this are just a start to your healing. You need to start healing, and this could be through others, this could be through you, but you just need to start healing. It could be through this reading even, but you need to start healing, because new beginning is coming, and also a new beginning can't happen without healing, without overcoming the previous. So you have to find that place, you have to find that grounding, you have to find that new space and work through it. You need to work through it, and you need to cope, and you need to learn how to let go, because you seems to be holding on quite strong. You are holding on quite strong to this thing you're going through, and therefore it's an ongoing continuous cycle, because you're constantly holding on to it, and it's time for you to let go. And the best way to let go is to talk, but talk to people you trust. Don't talk just anybody, don't just grab anybody and talk. Don't just be like, okay, this person is known for being the person to talk about problems with, so therefore I'll go to them. Don't do that. Find someone that you trust, because you need to be comfortable in order to talk about this. I feel like whatever this problem is, it may, to others, even though I did say that it may make you come off ignorant, it may not seem so bad to others, but it's a big deal to you. And if it's a big deal to you, then it's a big deal. I'm not invalidating any of your problems just because I'm saying you're ignorant or anything. No. I just definitely think that the way you come off about it with your problems, because it is such a big deal to you, the way you come off about it makes you seem ignorant to others' problems, and that's just one of those things, you know. And you'll definitely learn like why people are finding you insensitive, or people may also be irritated back at you. But all you need to do is heal, because healing brings growth, and growth is definitely what you need, and to let go and to move on desperately. So that is all for your reading. I truly hope you find that person who can help you heal, or just in general just heal. I hope your pain eases soon, and that you find that space within you to be calmer, to love, to live again, and to laugh, to have fun. And all the best, and thank you for tuning into this reading today. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you have a lovely time, and I hope that things get better for you. Thank you for watching.